Most new businesses fail within the first 12 months. How often have we heard that horror statistic? And I think it's the reason why most would be entrepreneurs do not go down the path of entrepreneurship, despite having the qualifications and the experience and the mental nous to be able to succeed in business by themselves. We've all heard those voices of doom. You haven't got the experience, you're not old enough, you certainly haven't got the financial resources, your product idea is just not going to work, you've got a family to take care of. um, why don't you just get a job like everybody else? That would be the more sensible thing to do. And I liken entrepreneurship to a Pandora's box. And before you open that box of entrepreneurship, you need to make sure that you've got as much of everything in there as possible that will help you to succeed. So, for example, you need to have as much experience as possible. You need to make sure that you have got as many qualifications as you possibly can. And this is all, I must stress, if possible. You've got the finances necessary. You have done planning. Um, and most importantly, in that Pandora's box needs to be a success mindset. I remember when I was early in my entrepreneurial journey and I wanted to discuss a new product idea that I wanted to manufacture with a Shenzhen factory owner. And so off I set. I fought my way through the Shenzhen traffic and eventually arrived at the factory. We sat down, and after lunch we went through this product idea that I had over a cup of tea. And it took quite a long time for this discussion to take place. The product idea itself was not straightforward, it was quite complicated. And the factory owner was pondering over the best way to manufacture it. And he was coming up against a brick wall. He found it difficult to find a clear route forward. And after 1 or 2 hours, I remember both of us sort of sat there in silence, not quite sure what would be the next way forward. And suddenly he just said to me, and I never forget these words: I don't know how I can do, but I can do. Wow. I don't know how I can do, but I can do. And probably what was more striking for me at that particular moment in time was that I utterly believed that despite all the complications and the difficulties, I had utter belief that he would be able to come through for me, that he would be able to manufacture this particular item. I wasn't quite sure how he would do it. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to do it. But we both felt, without any concrete evidence, I may add, that he would be able to do that. And I think what that highlighted was the fact that he had a success mindset. I had a success mindset. And we knew with that mindset that somehow there would be a way to do what we wanted to do. So, what exactly is a success mindset? Well, a success mindset is made up of a whole host of different factors. And I'm sure you can probably add a lot to the list that I'm about to go through in my mind. And I think a success mindset dictates that you never, ever give up. Whatever the circumstances, you never give up. You can always find a way. In difficulty, there is always opportunity. When the going gets tough, that's when you have to get going yourself. You have to keep driving forward despite all of the difficulties. You have a constant desire to improve. You have a constant desire to learn. You have a constant desire to innovate. And you have a constant desire to mix with and network with like-minded individuals. And it goes without saying also that you need to have resilience, determination, and a passion for what you're doing. And I should just add that the product idea that I discussed with the factory that day did in fact go on to be manufactured, and it did go on to be a success. But in fact, The main point is that I know in my mind that even if that product had not been manufactured, the mindset dictated that it would have been used for a stepping stone onto something else that would have been successful. So there are no failures, there are only lessons towards success. And that is something that I've experienced throughout the entirety of my entrepreneurial journey. So my parting words would be, if you are ready to open that Pandora's box, do so. But once it's been opened, please go straight forward, no looking back, without any doubt, and keep driving forward until you reach your goals.